Manny Feris is an interesting fellow. He is our wizard. We have our own Harry Potter here with gadgets, gizmos, demonstrations. He let us know early on that you all worry about the design of the slides. I'm an engineer and I get how it works.
So everyone over the age of 18 or 19 is starting to lose visual acuity in terms of your ability to see at night, peripheral vision, lots of different things. And everyone has encountered the idea of not being able to read something and having to walk over to a table lamp to really get more light on it to be able to read it. Now, we're going to go back to Dr. Roberts, but here are some numbers, and I took these from the Illuminating Engineering Society, and the only reason I took them was just to give you an idea that even when we are trying to be very specific, so in a library, when we're talking about ordinary reading, there's a range of 20 to 50 foot candles. Now, that's a big range, and especially when you consider that the human eye is an unbelievable instrument. So when you go outside, and maybe not today, I can't do it at my age, but I used to be able to read things at night at moonlight. And you can today read things in bright sunlight. Now, bright sunlight is 10,000 foot candles, and bright moonlight is a 1/10 of a foot candle, and it can go down as little as a 100th of a foot candle. So your eye can actually see in incredibly small amounts of light and incredibly large amounts of light. Obviously, interior lighting is even here 20 to 50 foot candles, or for audio-visual areas, 20 to 50 foot candles. That's a range that is supposed to accommodate different people's needs. And different people's needs mean sometimes age appropriate for the more light that you might need over the age of 50 compared to younger people who only need the 20-foot candles. Being able to control that light is a big part of it. Lighting designers, I mean architects, interior designers, actually there are more lighting courses in architecture and interior designer schools than there are in engineering schools. But there's a whole world of lighting designers who are members of the Illuminating Engineering Society or the International Association of Lighting Designers who can help, especially with the idea of appropriate, good lighting, indirect lighting that eliminates glare, things like that. That's lighting design. Here I'm just talking about the idea that in addition to the amount of light, this is going back to Dr. Roberts, we need to think about the color of light. And one of the things that she found out was that if astronauts were going to get a good night's sleep in the term of the early afternoon and evening before they were going to be going to sleep, you had to get rid of blue-green light in the spectrum. Now, blue-green light, almost all the lights in this auditorium are incandescent. Okay, so incandescent, you see, is 2800 Kelvin. It's a very strong part of the red, orange, yellow part of the spectrum. Now, that means that to prepare your body for sleep, in the bedroom of a residence or anywhere before going to bed, the worst thing you can do is look at your laptop, because that's blue-green. She even said that if you had a clock radio with red letters, that's good. If they are white, blue, or green, that's going to disturb your sleep cycle. Now, of course, she was talking about NASA, deep space, but you know what? Over the age of 50, you become more and more susceptible to things that interfere with your sleep cycle. Now, what color is incandescent? Well, this is incandescent. This is a regular incandescent bulb. Okay, now what's the problem with an incandescent bulb today? Well, the federal government passed the Energy Independence and Security Act in 2007, which basically said, hey, we have to save energy. And one of the ways we're going to save energy is by not using light sources that are not efficient. And unfortunately, incandescent is not efficient. So, you know, as it says, they're going to phase in medium screw base. You see this little socket here that you screw into all of your lights? That's a medium screw base. And what's going to happen, and has actually already happened, this 100-watt bulb is illegal. And I say that in the sense that it's not illegal to use, it's not illegal to sell, but people can't manufacture it or import it into the United States. The 75-watt, as of this past January, and upcoming January, the 60 watts and the 40 watts. Now, I tell you, there are no police going after people for selling, 100-watt bulbs. But the point is, what people are doing in an attempt to save energy is using things like this, the fluorescent. It screws into the same socket, but the problem with the fluorescent And the LEDs are that you have, first of all, it's a very different color. So that's the fluorescent. And this is a retrofit LED. Now, it's great to save energy. I'm a lead AP. I'm a self-certified tree hugger. I want to save energy and be sustainable anytime I can. But I don't want an interior residential application, especially for older people, that interferes with their life cycle. Now, this fluorescent is one color. And fluorescents, by the way, are going away because the LEDs are totally taking over. But look at that LED color. It's just not what you would want. Now, today, there is a halogen. This is a regular incandescent. I shouldn't say it's a regular incandescent. It's a more efficient form of incandescent. It's available, and it is something that absolutely is a regular incandescent in terms of color. It gives you that red, orange, yellow in terms of your melatonin levels at night. This is the kind of thing that people forget is an important issue. And of course, I am talking residentially because commercially, institutionally, hospitality-wise, people are going towards LED and fluorescent because of the energy saving. But in your hotel suite, they're going to save energy, but the light in your hotel suite is very often not going to help you get a good night's sleep. So if you have trouble sleeping in a hotel, that might be a reason. Now, the other thing is to talk about control. Remember I said that the ranges of lighting levels that people have, sometimes it's low for one part of the day in terms of your mood, and it's higher at another part of the day. Here is a light, okay? And this is a dimmer, so I can dim this light up and down, and I can make it as bright as I need. Now, the important thing is that a lot of places have existing switches at existing locations. This is a 10-year battery life device that will now, when I press that button, that light goes out. The same way that you control your TV, the same way you control anything wirelessly, talk on the phone, this kind of thing gives you the ability to press a button, talk to the lighting in a room, regardless of where the switches are. And this is really expensive. This is 25 bucks. So it's not hard to retrofit this, and it's not hard to retrofit it at different levels. This is a little guy that will talk to that dimmer that costs about $60 or $75. It could also retrofit your entire house and do it so that at the front door, you hit a button and you turn off all the lights as you're leaving. Or when you come home, you hit the middle button and it gives you a path of light to your bedroom. Or from your bedroom, it gives you a path of light to the kitchen. The point is, this is a flexibility that is totally there. This is not super expensive, and it's not prototyping the future. I work for Lutron. This is a Maestro wireless. It's a radio frequency wireless device. But the important thing is that it also works with things like sensors. So this is something that when you're walking into that laundry room with your hands full, okay, this little guy is the sensor that will see you coming and turn the light on, and turn it on whether you're switching on a fluorescent or dimming on an incandescent. And then a minute after you leave, it'll turn it off. And this is also really expensive. This is 40 bucks. Now the point is it goes in to the same wires, the same box, and it's part of that convenience, it's part of the energy savings, but it's also part of when I want to be able to control lighting, I want to be able to control it from anywhere. And that's what these products are being able to do. But don't forget, you're talking about the ability to control the type of lighting residentially in terms of color that is good for you in terms of sleep. Those are the points that I wanted to make.